We'll get started. So today is Tuesday, May 11th. We're at 3:45 live here in Healdsburg. And then I am recording this, so I will post it to my YouTube. Sometimes people like to go to the YouTube and practice along if they like a certain section or like a meditation. Or if you're super devoted and have a whole hour, you're, of course, always welcome to do that. So I think everybody here has been to class before, but I always like to just remind you that to really, really take care of your body, your mind, your spirit, what we're doing should help you feel better. And especially physically, I want to encourage you to pay attention to how things feel. Our body, our system will give us feedback. And sometimes we get feedback of like, oh, that's interesting. I haven't done that in a while. And that's okay, and kind of can explore that at a slow pace. But sometimes we go, ow, that's pinching something, or I get a nervy something. And that would be a case to back off and make the movement smaller, or don't do it. Just do it on one side or what have you. So you really, really be in charge of you, take care of you. And so we'll start out seated, and we'll do a little check-in, and then we'll do some breathing exercises and do some warm-ups and activation. I think I'll do those seated, and then right now I'm just kind of like, yeah, I'm gonna do this seated, but I usually reach a juncture in class where I say, if you want to stand up, now's a time to stand up. You can stand up any time. I'm doing this 10-month-long medical Qi Gong intensive, and we stand in these postures like this for like 5 minutes, 5 minutes, 5 minutes. It's very intense, but it's building a lot of Qi. But I'm not going to do that to you. And so, all right, I think we are good to go. So let's just settle in, and I just invite you in this moment to move, do your own personal, spontaneous Qigong. Just move your arms, move your back, just see what wants to move your neck, relax your jaw, maybe do a little massage on the jaw or the neck. And just for some of us, I know for me, actually, I've been kind of dove into the day and got up and out earlier than I normally do. And this is kind of my first time saying, oh, I have a body. Hi, body. What do you need in this moment? And so, yeah, feels good to be together. So looks like everybody is seated for now, and so just be in a supportive posture. And somebody mentioned to me before class that they were sleepy. And if you ever fall asleep in class, that's fine. If you ever need to leave class because you're just tired or yawning, that's fine. Just a little bit of Qigong is better than no Qigong. Just come for first 10, 15, 20 minutes. Go home and take care of yourself. I will say, when we shut our eyes, our body thinks it's time for a nap. So if you're sleepy during the meditation, maybe keep your eyes cracked and just pick a spot on the floor. So let's just do a little intro check-in. So just seated in a stable posture. Hands can be face down, face up, whatever feels good to you. And just tune into your breath for a moment, turning your attention inward. Let your breathing become a little more intentional. Inhales a little longer. Exhales a little more forceful. And just hang out with that for a few breaths and just notice what you notice. Don't need to change anything. See if there's an area of restriction. Maybe you could soften it a bit. Mainly we're just noticing. And now we'll do a body scan starting at the top of your head, coming down to your face and neck. And you can soften anything that feels tight. You're welcome to do that. If you could be 5 to 10% more comfortable, do a little adjustment in your chair. And coming down to your shoulders, arms, elbows, wrists, and hands. On your next inhale, make your hands into a fist and squeeze and hold. And exhale and flatten your hand and relax. And we'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, make a fist and squeeze and hold. Exhale, releasing any tension or stress. And 1 more time. Coming back to your midline, your torso. Come down to your abdomen. And come down your spine, in between the shoulder blades, to the mid-back, to the low back. And again, just noticing what you notice. If you can be a little more comfortable and make a little adjustment, please do that. Feeling the weight of your body on the chair. And letting your attention float down your legs, knees, shins, calves, ankle, feet. And now we're going to do an emotional scan. And for that, I find it helpful to do hand over my heart area, center of the chest. This is optional, just if this helps direct your attention here. You might feel the warmth of your hand. In Chinese medicine, this is our heart center, the storage house of emotions. So just really get in tune with that as you inhale. Feel this area expanding. As you exhale, softening. And now I'll be quiet. Just keep your attention inward. And just say hello to your emotion. Who's present today? Joy, compassion, irritation, confusion, anxiety. We're just noticing. And see who's really in the foreground, taking up a lot of space or energy, who's hiding in the shadows maybe. And I encourage you to see if you can identify the dominant emotion with a word. And either keeping your hands here or letting them float down to your lap, just tuning into your mental energy flow. Is there lots going on in the head center today? Does it feel sharp or wavy, quiet or loud? Just kind of tuning into energy. And then putting that all together, breath, body, mind, emotions. Just snapshot it. We'll do some breathing and warm-ups and come back and check again. So getting ready to enter into a little more movement, wiggling your toes, butterflying your knees a bit. And again, just doing a stretch, getting ready to integrate. So we're going to move into some breathing exercises, and I just want to talk about breathing for a moment. Most people, myself included, when we think about breathing, we think about our lungs. Our lungs attach here on the collarbone. And then find the bottom of your rib cage in the front and then also in the back. You can float your hands there. Your lungs go all the way down into that space. And the lungs actually don't do anything. They don't have any muscles of their own. They're very passive. And so what does the moving? It's our diaphragm, which is, I always think of it kind of as an umbrella shaped curve right here. That is a big muscle. And it sits right at the base of the lungs. It separates the chest from the abdomen. So when you inhale, that umbrella comes down and it stretches the lungs tissue, and then when we exhale, it comes up. And so if we're not being intentional about our breathing, most of us breathe pretty shallow, pretty quiet. So we're going to intensify that a little bit and do some movements, and I'll invite you to breathe. And I want you really to kind of tune into this area. Sides of the rib, the bottom of the lungs there, front and back. The more we can stretch and open the rib cage, the more space we create for the lungs, the more oxygen that we bring in. So I'm gonna scoot forward on my chair a little bit here, just so my arms are free. So let's just start one hand and I'm gonna move back so you all can see me. One hand at a time. Just inhaling up, exhaling down. And let's do the other side. Inhaling up, exhaling down. And just back and forth like this, alternating the sides. For this one, just as we're starting to breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. One more on each side. And now let's do both at the same time. Slight pause at the bottom. And now next time we're going to go up, full inhale. And now see if you can inhale a little more. And we'll do that 2 more times. So do a full inhale. And now a little more. And I find I'm arching my back and that feels good. And just shake your arms out and just notice how that, I can just feel myself like it's like somebody just turned up my dimmer switch a little bit. I was a little low energy when I came in, and just that intentional breathing can help. So now we're going to do a little bit of side to side and open up these the side of the lungs. So if your arms aren't tired, you can bring your hands up. If your arms are tired, you can just do the same move this way, okay? So we're gonna inhale up, and now I'm gonna keep my bum on the chair, but I'm gonna stretch over to the side. And inhale back, and down. And again, inhale up, stretch to the side, inhale back to the center, and down. So when you do that, we're going to do that again a few times. This area between, find in this on the side of your body, find the top of your hip. It's often where our pants, the waistband goes, and then the bottom of the rib, and you want that space to open up. So this lung is getting condensed and crushed, and this one is opening. Then we come back and we're equal, and then same on the other side. So we're gonna do it a few times to each side. We're gonna add, this is our liver, and this is our stomach and spleen. So we're gonna add the healing sound for the liver, which is shh, okay? So here we go. Inhale up, and shh. You can let your head dangle. Back to the center. Let's go over to the other side. Back to the center and down, and shake out the arms. I'm already getting kind of warm. The Qi is flowing. And so let's do a twist that's in there. And there are, it's classically speaking, definitely in yoga, and classically in Qigong, most times you would exhale on the twist. And so let's try that and feel how that feels. And then we're gonna stay in there and do an inhale. And that stretches the tissue in a particular way. But we're just gonna start slow. So those of us here in Friendship Hall have arms on our chair, and we can use those to help with our twist. So we're gonna start, and just with the twisting, you just wanna go slow the first time and let your body kind of get used to a twist, and then we'll increase it from there. So it definitely will help if you're forward on your chair, so you have a little more movement. So let's inhale to the center. And now I'm gonna look over my shoulder. Exhale. And stay there a minute and do an inhale. And exhale again, staying in the twist. And back to the center. So I'm not using these yet because I don't feel warmed up enough. If you've already stretched or warmed up, you can use these to pull yourself, but I'm just bracing myself on my knees. So deep inhale and twist. Neck, shoulders, low back. Stay in the twist and inhale, feel your lungs. And exhale. See if you can twist a little more. Inhale back to the center. And we're just going to exhale and twist to the first side. Stay in the inhale. Stay in the twist and inhale again. Exhale, see if you can go a little deeper. Inhale back to the center. And other side. Exhale. Inhale, feeling your lungs. Exhale a little more with a twist. And inhale. And again, coming back to center. Here comes another zoomer. And again, just move anything that feels good. So that really got our lungs going up, down, twist, side, side. So that's a good way to stretch out the tissue. So let's get into opening our gates. In Chinese anatomy, the gates are our joints, our wrists, our elbows, shoulders, the spine, and so on. So my body is saying, I would like to stand up right now. So you check in with your body and see if you want to stand or if you prefer to sit. Pay attention to your knees and back and energy level and feet, whatever feels good for you. Everything can be modified. If you are seated here and somebody stands up in front of you, just move your chair so you can see. All right, so let's start with our fingers. Make a fist and spread, make a fist and spread, and just, this is good for the brain, good wake up. And when I'm opening my hand, I'm spreading my fingers. If you came up and felt my fingers, you'd feel tension on there. Great. Let's get into our wrists. And so I'm really just, all I'm focusing on is the wrist movement. So I like starting it slow because then I go as big a circle as I can go. And then we'll go the other direction. And that is, I always start with the easiest direction for me. So it's funny to start that. And let's do a little wrist massage. Just take your right hand and stick it out. Your other hand comes like a claw, and then just turn it back and forth. So there's all kinds of tendons that cross the wrist. So I'm covering the wrist crease and then just going up a little bit from there. So it should, I'm doing it pretty vigorously. It should feel good. It shouldn't hurt. But opening the gates. All right, and other side. And just notice the difference between the two sides. Great, and then knit your fingers together. And we're gonna, this kind of starts getting into the whole complex of the arm. So we're gonna start with our fingers like this, and now mirror me. So I'm pushing use your left hand to push, and I'm stretching the back of that wrist, and then I'm coming down and pushing down with my fingers, and now up, and I'm stretching the back of this wrist, and now I'm back to the center. So it's push down to the middle, push, and up. Yeah, looks like everybody's got it. And slow stretching movements. This is a good dance floor movement too, if you're ever out on a Saturday night. And now comes here goes, I see dancing breaking out. And now comes the hard part, go the other way. So we go back and up, and now I'm pushing with this hand and down. Yeah, you guys got it. And this, you can see, this is getting the fingers, the wrists, the elbows, a little bit of the shoulders. Great. And shake, and shake, and shake, and shake. Great. All right, for the elbows, let's just do some vigorous massage on there. So I'm going to do my thumb. My thumb is the strongest for me, but you also could use your fingers. Have your right hand facing down, and using your left hand, come in and get the top muscles there. These are the yang muscles. And I see everybody doing it differently, and that's wonderful. You can try your thumb. I saw somebody pinching the muscle. You can just do poking, different pressure spots. See somebody using their whole hand. Just really, we're just trying to invigorate it. When we do that, we open up the capillaries. And now palm up and do the other side. And those are quite tender. Yeah, it's like, this is classically known, this area, if this is tender, this is golfer's elbow, and this is tennis elbow. But you see people with keyboarding injuries or driving injuries or dog walking or all of that. So, and then, yeah, just feel the difference between your two arms. This one feels quite warm. So let's do the other side, palm down and getting those yang muscles. And just noticing the two different sides. And then turn palm up and getting the yin. Great. And shake your arms out. Let's do the shoulders. We'll just do the classic shoulder rolls, but invite you to do them slowly. So rounding your shoulders forward, kind of dropping your head, and now bringing the shoulders up to the ears, and my neck almost disappears, and now bringing them back. My shoulder blades and back are coming together, and then I come back. So it's forward, down, slouch, shoulders up and squeeze, and back and squeeze. So this is opening, the others are contracting and down. And one more time. Oh, great. And just moving those shoulders any way that feels good. You can go forward, you can go back. And let's do a stretch, taking your left arm, going across and holding it. And now looking over that same shoulder. This is a good stretch for some of the rotator cuff muscles. And breathing and relaxing. And other side. Over the shoulder. And relaxing. Now we'll get into our neck. So we stretch our arms into a T. My palms are facing, not into a T, into an X. My palms are facing forward. And now I'm going to turn my head and look at the upper hand. And then turn my head and look at the lower hand. And one more back and forth. And bring your arms down. Give yourself a break, and then we'll do the other side. Stretch, stretch, stretch. I'm really pushing down with that hand, pushing up, getting activation. And now turning and looking, coming down and looking, and again. And bringing your hands down. Great. And so we're gonna, I'm gonna move back to seated to do we've done a lot in the spine. We're gonna do our knees and ankles, and then we'll do a little scan again, and then we'll get into our flows. So for our knees, I also wanna do some massage. And so we're going to clap our hands together, generate some chi, and then do some massage. Ready? Clap. And see how warm you can make your palms feel. Think happy, positive thoughts, beautiful things in nature. And put those hands on your knee, and then start activating, opening the blood and the lymph and the chi. Get the sides, go above, below. Make sure you go in back. There's the yang channels, 3 yang channels on the outside that go down, 3 yin channels on the inside that go up. They all go through the knee and the ankle. And then let's tap. And just notice the difference between your 2 knees. This one's very tingly and alive. If you have tender knees, this is such a nice thing to do for yourself every day, especially before you go for a walk or something. So let's do the other side. We're going to clap. 1, 2, 3. And clap. Oh, Joy likes the clapping. Oh, silly girl. I love having doggies in class. And think happy doggy thoughts. And put that into your knee. There's not much blood, not many blood vessels actually in this knee joint. So we're helping by doing this, warming it up, go behind, and tap, tap, tap. Great. And then for our ankles, let's do, woo, anybody hear that crack? I just had a good adjustment there. Do 6 one way, 6 the other way. If you're really fancy, you could do both at the same time. Make sure you get both sides. And other side. And feet flat on the floor. Pretend you can't see my feet because I have shoes and socks on, but pretend these are my feet. And you're going to inhale and scrunch your toes, and then exhale and spread them wide. And we'll go back and forth like that. Inhale, scrunch. Exhale, spread and wide. And one more time. Great. So we'll just do a quick check-in. Back to our original posture, turning your attention in, taking a breath, noticing any areas of resistance. See if you can soften. Doing a body scan, starting at the top and going down. Doing it much faster than we did the first one. Noticing what's changed, what stayed the same. Checking our emotions, hand over the heart center if you like. Feeling the warmth of your hands and tuning in. What is present now? Same emotions, new ones. Maybe they've recalibrated or shifted a bit, toned down. Feeling your chest expand with the inhale, exhale, and softening. And now tuning into your mind. If there have been any shifts. And putting that all together into a snapshot, noticing how the warm-ups affected you. And so getting ready to move a little more, wiggling your toes, butterflying your knees, opening your eyes, and just moving again, whatever wants to move. So we are going to move into our flowing movements, and trying to listen to my body if she wants to stand or sit. I think I'm going to stand, but I may shift to sitting. I could have gone either way on that one. So it's really up to you, your energy level, your skeleton. They both have benefits. So do what feels right in the moment, and that moment may change. So normally when, for most of the warm-ups on that, there's either no particular breathing pattern, or a lot of times we inhale and then exhale through the mouth. For the remainder of class, if it's available to you, breathing in through the nose and out through the nose, just quietly, is generally considered restorative. And that's what we're doing now, where we've kind of cleaned and activated, and now we're gonna fill our reservoir. So let's just start out with opening the flow. And so seated or standing, it's the same movement. Hands are loosely here. And then we're going to inhale through the nose. And then they get to about eye level. And palms come forward and look through the viewfinder you've just created. And then float the hands down. Now, one little nuance, if you are standing, when your hands come down, you can almost imperceptibly bend your knees a little bit, and then when you float up, you go up a little bit, and then come down. So the energy's rising, and then returning to the earth. In through the nose, out through the nose. One more time. And now for the next one, we're going to float our hands up, but they're going to go all the way up. And then our hands are facing up. Buddha holds up the sky, and now they come down and around, back to the center. Inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the nose. And this one I always think of as really creating my own personal energy bubble. Anchors 2 feet below my feet, 2 feet above my head, and front to the back, to the sides. Enjoy your breathing. Feel your lungs filling. One more time. And just savoring the feeling of this bubble of protection we've just created, established our boundaries. So let's do one for our heart. I think we did this, I can't remember if we did this in this class or the Thursday morning class. We have our heart, and then we have what's known as the heart protector. And so this is about kind of boundaries, personal boundaries. Sometimes it's wonderful to be open and greet people, and other times it feels better to be more protected, maybe quiet, more introverted. So there's no hierarchy, there's no right or wrong. What's good is to have that awareness of, I'm opening, expanding. Oh, I need some protection now. So the heart and heart protector meridians start here, and then they go down the inside of the arm across the palm. And so the middle finger and your thumb are going to touch. It's a little mudra. And as we touch them, we inhale back and open, and then exhale and sink. And so it's in through the nose and open. Exhale and sink. And you can see I'm really the area between my shoulder blades. I'm stretching that area. I'm tucking my low back and tailbone. So we just go back and forth. I'm going to try it in a chair, and I've never tried it in a chair. Probably have to watch your elbows so you come a little wider maybe. But the heart is open to the world, being filled with sunlight. And now we go back into our bubble of protection. massaging the heart. Three more times. And let's just do a short standing or seated meditation, holding the bottom of your palms there together and then fingers up. This is like a lotus blooming in your heart. Feel it connected to the ultimate source of life. And from this rooted place in your heart, float this lotus up. Connecting with the heavens above, finding inspiration, illumination. And coming back down to the heart, back down to our foundation, the belly center. So these are our three treasures that we've worked on in class before. So let's do one for our belly center. Palms are facing down, facing the earth. We're going to exhale forward, pushing away stress and tension. And then we clear the way, gathering beneficial qi, depositing it back into our reservoir. So exhaling through the nose, inhaling through the nose. Neck is relaxed, spine is relaxed. Three more times. Last time. And for a moment, hand over hand, it doesn't matter which one, right over your belly button. As you inhale, feeling your belly expand, exhale, feeling it sink. I was contemplating this yesterday. This is our original source of qi, where we were connected with our mother. So just for a moment, honoring that connection that brought you into this world, gave you all the nourishment. The foundation. And getting ready for some more movement. So we're going to do a move. This might be too, let me see if I can do this. This is not the best to do seated. So let's do another one for the kidneys, which we've done before. So the kidneys are the storehouse of our chi, of our essence, and you have two kidneys, and then on top of the kidneys sit your adrenal glands. So this can balancing this, nourishing this, can really help with modulate your stress level. And so the kidney meridian starts on the bottom of your foot, comes up the inside of the leg, and then goes on either side of the belly button, up the midline, and then the last point is here. Just find your chest bone there, your sternum, and then on either side where the ribs come in, that's the last point. So we essentially trace this channel. So it's our connection to the earth, drawing the watery energy up from the earth, and then it flows back down. Hands, if you're seated, hands are going to end here, and then we'll float them back inside. Okay? So inhaling up through the nose, up the torso, exhaling out of the mouth, water returning to earth. Up the legs, the torso, nourishing the bones and the cells, out and around. Feeling your connection with the earth, feeling rejuvenated, replenished by this energy. Jaws relaxed. Three more times. And last time. Beautiful. It was just the power of water. David and I, over the last week, while I wasn't here for class last week, we took a road trip, and he wanted to see the headwaters of the Russian River. And so we drove up to Ukiah. Turns out the headwaters are actually on private property, so you can't get to the very beginning where it comes out of the earth, but you can get pretty close. And it's just this little tiny trickle of a stream. And then as it comes down, it gets wider and wider and wider. And then we ended up out in Jenner, where I know some of you have been, and the river meets the sea. If you haven't been, it's just an absolute glorious place to go. And so I've just been reflecting on water. And right here in our backyard here in Healdsburg, Santa Cruz has the San Lorenzo coming right down. We're quite miraculous. So let's end. I think we'll end a little early, just with the heart math meditation that we do. I feel during these times that we're living in, I was at a day of mindfulness on Saturday, and my teacher called these exponential times. It's like just everything that's happening feels exponential. And so it's just really important to take the time to come take care of yourself in whatever way that means, and to make sure that we replenish ourselves, replenish our energy, replenish our heart. So we're just going to do a short little meditation, and then we'll sit in silence for a few minutes. So if you want to do this, we've done this in class before. We hand over hand, over the area of your heart center. And it's as if you have nostrils here, like you are really breathing in and out from this area. So as you inhale, let that area expand. As you exhale, it sinks. And now in your mind's eye, think of something very recent from today or yesterday, something that made your heart smile, something in nature, the egret in the pond, or standing at the ocean's edge, or feeling the warmth of your dog or cat. And breathe that into your system. And as you exhale, let it permeate every cell in your body. And do that a few times. And you can sit with your hands here if that feels good, or bring them back to your lap. And I'll watch the clock. We'll just sit in silence for 2 minutes, savoring this feeling. If your mind wanders, come back to your breath, come back to your heart. And keeping your attention inward, but opening your receptors to tune into the group field that we've created all together, people in person, people online. It's about 25 of us. We make a bright light together. And then in whatever way works for you, you want to send that beneficial energy outwards. Could be to someone you know, neighbor, family, friend. Could be people you don't know, people facing illness or surgery, living in wartime. And then bringing your attention back to your own being and wiggling your toes, butterflying your knees, and getting ready to end class. We'll end class with pulling down the heavens. There's many, many different ways to do this. Today we're going to dip into the earth, floating our hands up to the heaven, and now they're going to come palm over palm, soothing it down the midline. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhaling, exhaling, bringing the energy back to our lower belly center. 1 more time. And anchoring it into your center. And we'll end class dedicating the merit, as we always do. If you would like to join me, the words I use are, may the merit of our practice benefit all beings and bring peace. May the merit of our practice benefit all beings and bring peace. Nice to practice together. Thank you for showing up. Class is on for Thursday. Anybody that wants to come and stretch and move, 8:30, same Zoom link. And for those of you at ENSO, it's in the yoga room. As far as I know, class is on for the next few weeks. And nice to be together. Go spread your sparkles. Bye, everybody. Bye, Zoomers. Good to be together.